Hello and welcome to US History A Unit 1. Guys, this is like my favorite stuff. And I say that every single time because but this really is like my very favorite stuff. So you will enjoy it, I promise. Okay, so starting off, we're going to talk about European exploration, okay? And the reason that I have this picture right here is because the reason that Europeans came to America was because they wanted to find a Northwest Passage because they found out that the country of India had really good spices. Okay, spices in Europe at this time were not good at all. All right, they food was not good, and the preservation was not good, and it usually tasted awful. But with these spices from India, it actually tasted good, and so they wanted to find a Northwest Passage, and so that's originally why they came to America. Now, um, this happened. This was the goal until the 1800s, you guys. This was a big deal. Okay, they wanted to find the spices. Um, so you know the story. 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, right? And instead of reaching India, he reached America, and and found these Native Americans there that he didn't know anything about. So you'll also learn a little bit about the native tribes of North America, and that's a big deal as well. Okay, um, so anyway, so this really was like until the Lewis and Clark expedition in 1804. This was what people were trying to get was spices in India. All right, and that's what they were trying to do. Okay, lesson 2 is about a new world. All right, so they realized that they had this continent in the way, and so they decided that they should try to make of it what they could. Okay, so then we have different countries coming from Europe. We had the French, we had the English, and we had the Spanish, and they were all trying to set up colonies. The English were eventually the ones whose colonies were successful, and they set up Jamestown and Virginia. Um, and the reason that Jamestown was successful was because of tobacco, because they discovered that there was a type of tobacco that grew there that the English really liked, and it could sell for good money. Okay, and so that's why Jamestown worked out. The Puritans went to New England. They went for religious freedom. Now, understand that it was not the religious freedom that we talk about now. Okay, this was the freedom for them to practice their religion. Okay, for them to do what they wanted to do. They didn't want anyone else to come. They just wanted to be able to practice what they could do in their religion. All right. Eventually, Jamestown and Massachusetts, got too small, and so then we had the middle colonies, then the New England colonies, and the middle colonies, and the southern colonies as well. Okay. So then we have conflict in the colonies. And this is where I'm going to have you do your project, and I'll tell you about it in just a minute. Um, the idea of all right, so there was the French and Indian War, which broke out as another war, a completely different war in England. Not England, between England and France. Okay, and then came over here as the French and Indian War. And so eventually, so it gave the the colonials, the people in the colonies were on the English side, right? Because that was where their colonies were from. And so they fought on the English side against the French and Indians. The Indians were kind of on whatever side. It didn't really matter for them. They just wanted people out of here. Okay. And so the eventually England won, which means that the colonials won, and England thought, okay, now how are we going to pay for this war? You know, and so they thought, well, since the war was won, since the war was fought in the colonies, why don't we have the colonies pay for the war? Which actually wasn't a bad plan, really. I mean, yeah, the colony, it was fought for the colonials. It was fought for Ohio territory in the new world, okay? And however, the people in the colonies got really opposed to this and said that it was said that there was no taxation without representation. They didn't want to be taxed for the colonies if they weren't going to be represented in the colonies. So that's what made them mad. Okay. Let me share with you the project that you're going to be doing. Okay. I actually have a really long history with this project, probably like 12 years ago when it very first started. I went to a conference about it, and it's really, really cool because it has these games that you can play, um, and they put you in a historical situation, and you basically, it's choose your own adventure. Okay, so it's pretty cool. So you are going to play um, for Crown or Colony. And I'll have a link to the trailer that you can watch. You can look at all of the characters that are in the play. It'll take you like maybe an hour, maybe a little more. Hopefully not. To play the game, but it's a pretty fun game actually, because you get to decide how you're going to do it, and it's become doable for, you can download it if you want to do it offline, download it for PC, download it for Mac, download it for Chromebook, download it for iPad. Okay, so it's become pretty versatile, and I'm interested to see what you think of it. And yeah, so let me know what you think of the whole thing, and I'll give you the introduction. And oh, you need to log on right down here, okay? And it just has you like put in your name and your email address. Just use your email address for iSucceed, okay? And yeah, it's pretty like once you log on, like it's pretty self-explanatory. If you have any questions, let me know, but it should be pretty self-explanatory. Okay? So, after you do that, and like I said, that's our project. So then you just need to give me you just need to write a response to the questions that I've posed, and then you'll receive points, and then you'll get points for the project. So it should be pretty easy. Okay. Lesson 4 is the revolution begins. And it talks about the Enlightenment, and how that really influenced the idea of the revolution. It talks about Bunker Hill, Duster Heights, some of the battles, the Christmas miracle, some of Saratoga, Valley Forge, the major battles, okay? And then, and it talks about when the colonies actually broke away from and declared their independence, which is why we celebrate Independence Day on the 4th of July. Okay. And the reason that they declared their independence and that they wrote that was to get help from other countries, such as the French, which ended up being a really, really good thing. So there you go. Okay. And then lesson 5 is about we win, it's independence. And this is actually a picture of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, and not of them actually winning the war. But there you go. So they won the war. All right. So then next we're going to go on to Unit 2 and talk about, okay, what do we do, right? Now that we know that now that we have all this land and we have this country and we're in charge of it, what do we do with it? Okay. So if you have any questions, please let me know. And I'm excited to see you with Unit 2. Thanks so much. Bye.